Well, alright then. Welcome back to Oxygen Not Included. We are on a mission. In our last couple of episodes, our food supply started dwindling noticeably, and we're now working on resolving that, and it is proving a little bit difficult. Part of our situation is that we've been using micro mushers for a while. We have a bunch of those fired, queued up, ready to go. Those use water. We don't really have water. We kind of have none of that. However, we can make these frost buns that don't require water, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, it would say if it requires water, and it doesn't. So we can do a little bit of this. It's not a ton, but if it helps stave off the starvation, then all the better. And there's the benefit of there is more sleetweed around that we just need to access. So we're going to up the priority on this dig. And that might be a little premature, might be a little aggressive, but that is the situation that we have, and that is something that we need. We also could use a little more algae, but really that's not top priority. And there's a good amount of oxygen down here for people when they come and do that work, so let them handle it. Now, of course, everyone's going to get super stressed out. Our food shortage, it's still a shortage. People are going to get stressed out. We are going to have to periodically just force people onto the massage tables. Which is unfortunate in the long run, but again, these are proving to be necessary tasks. And we can actually build another cot. See, I want to kind of put it up in a consistent barracks sort of position, so we'll do it here. Even though this is kind of polluted oxygen, it's still, you know, workable. Probably more workable than down there where there's basically none. I'll keep these sweeps going. Okay, that's polluted dirt. The frost bun isn't giving off bad gas. That would be a very distressing bun. So, long story short, this is getting a bit frantic, a bit chaotic, a bit troublesome. I don't know why things have like no power basically. I mean, this generator's running. It's running just fine. What is it, what is that circuit? Is it like this? Or people can run the generator. I think people are avoiding the generator because we put all of our priority over here. So we'll leave these as high priority because they are. Put a bit of 7 on the generator, like someone could go do that. I'm actually going to prioritize this up to 7 because there is a lot of valuable work to be done in here. And some of that is water management, more of a long-term thing, but also like this sleet wheat grain. Once we can access these, we can make a ton of buns. A bun ton. And that will help us kind of carry on forward. Bun ton just reminds me of the Bon-Ton, that department store that we had like close to where I grew up, and I have no idea if there are any more locations near, like I have no idea. It was called the Boston store, like that was their tagline thing when I was growing up, which is not much of a tagline. Ultimately, it's like a description, which I guess is valid, but like that's it. They didn't sell Bostons, is the point. Yeah, I don't think like I've seen a Bon-Ton for most of my life. Since that was where I grew up and then I moved out, you know, carried on with my life. I don't think I've seen any since. That couldn't have been like a one and done location though. Like that had to be a thing. So, I don't know. I didn't really like shop there very much. Bonton to me felt like an old people's shop, which I feel terrible saying, but it did. Like it felt like that was where my grandma shopped because she did. You know, I think that's a fairly valid interpretation of the situation. This polluted water stuff is working out just fine. I don't know if this power transformer was like a good idea or not. I still don't know. But Holly is jogging along. I'm just gonna set up sweeps, like normal priority, all around. Make sure people are picking things up as we go. We might actually get past this food shortage. It will be a miracle, but we might do it. This is all sorts of terrible. So one thing we're going to, excuse me. One thing we're going to do is just build in this direction for a little bit. And do some gas permeable tile. Because this is meant to just produce a little more airflow. So it's not super important. This is important, and we are starting to see this job get going. And yes, Blackberry, Speedwell, they are stressed. So, Blackberry and Speedwell, you are on break. Blackberry and Speedwell. And that's not going to last super long. But we will let that happen for probably until like the end of the cycle, I would say. So, filtered, we can have liquid carbon dioxide, crude oil. Where does all this stuff come from? Really? Where does liquid steel? There is stuff in this game that I just don't understand yet. And we want them to do this dig so that this oxygen can start leaking out. Yeah, it kind of sucks down here. I know. People are going to get more and more stressed out. We should actually... Bigwig is really stressed. So... Bigwig, you're on break. Blackberry, back to work. Well, eventually, like, you can clean up, you know. I'm not gonna be so cruel as to, like, immediately push you out, but... Oh well. Why did we build 2 pumps down here and only 1 over here? Well, probably because it's entombed. What are the priorities on all this? Okay, everything's fine. And we're keeping an eye on all this so that we don't have people accidentally drowning or getting buried or what have you, because that can happen. We've seen that happen before. We're actually losing a little bit of water in this whole process, whatever. Polluted water in particular, we're like, we don't really care. We're mostly just trying to get access to our sleet wheat, our other resources, get more water going. Bigwig, Cowslip, King Cup. Okay, Cowslip. You're on break. Speedwell, you're off break. Cowslip. I just told you to go on break. King Cup. You're on break. Our colony has discovered labor laws. And not a moment too soon. 76 cycles. Come on. Should have been pushing them for this stuff from cycle 10. But oh well. So we have to decide which side is going to be what. Like, is this going to be the polluted water? Is this going to be clean? Or is it the opposite? This polluted water is just sliding all the way down. And there's a lot of sleetweed around. So, like, we can keep looking for it. Keep working on it. Cowslip and Kingcup are the most stressed right now. Where are they? Like, come on, you have literally no other job. Kingcup, there you go. There you go. Speedwell, you don't need that. Bigwig doesn't really need that. Cowslip really, really needs that. So, Speedwell, get off the massage table. Kingcup, you're focused on that. Cowslip is coming on over, finally. Thank you. You need to chill, boy. You need to kick back. What are you doing? Are you going? Ah, it's going in some food. That's fair. Speaking of, our food situation is not so good anymore. We are out of sleetweed. We've used it all up. And of course, there's a little bit right here, but we've essentially used it all up. We don't have coal. Are we out of coal entirely? No, we just haven't done the delivery. So, high priority, do the delivery, if you please. Someone is considered idle. Hawkbit. Because it would appear he can't move. You know what? Everyone's just falling asleep down here. We worked them pretty hard, and I have a feeling they're not going to be super happy about that. But in doing this, we should be getting access to more, well, Acorn, don't drown. We should be getting access to more of this sleetweed, which is really what we're going for here. Oh, Hazel, what have you just done? They just buried themselves in. Acorn, why can't you do things right now? Acorn, what's wrong? You can build. They don't have the resources. Okay, Acorn just fell asleep. Okay, you know what? You guys have the capacity to dig, so do that. These guys are stuck. So someone build this tile straight away, if you please. This tile is the most important thing right now. You gotta get folks out. Okay, cancel all that. Can you climb up, is the question. Because if you can climb up, we will just do like a ladder dig kind of thing. Yes. Suffocating. Hazel. Hazel, what's wrong? You guys can get out. Please tell me you guys can get out. Why can't you get out? What's wrong? What is wrong? Okay. Can we see what they have on them? Doesn't look like it. So, top priority, deconstruct those so you can get out. No, scabious. Where is scabious? Like, get yourselves out. We can also deconstruct that, but it's nowhere near as important as getting to some oxygen. Please. You guys can do it. Hazel, come on. Hazel. My heart has joined the 1,000 today. We've lost a duplicant. And we've lost Acorn too. We lost 2 duplicants. We tried. We really did. But unfortunately we mismanaged enough things in trying to do this. We had the food shortage. I expected that would be what killed them, to be perfectly honest. But instead we just were not able to handle our oxygen. We were not generating enough. And ultimately that came to a head. And that did it in. So that was, as always, going to be part of the mission. Part of the arrangement. We go until we get 63 duplicants or the colony fails. And the colony has failed them. We've had 2 deaths. And from the looks of our oxygen map, we are about to have quite a few more. So unfortunately, we've lost Sandleford. We have lost this colony. And there are definitely a lot of things we could have done better. Focusing on this was foolish, even though it was with this objective, ultimately, is to handle our food situation, which we let our food situation go on far too bad for far too long, along with our oxygen situation kind of faltering in tandem. I would say our oxygen situation is what fell first. We really didn't handle that very consistently. Out of the gate it wasn't that bad, but that's always the case. It starts off easy. We should have been doing a lot more digging and working in this area. There's a lot of water up here. Like, we should have been putting a lot of effort in our purification and distilling systems. And a lot earlier as well. This was not a bad idea. I think some gas pressure concerns ultimately made this less effective than it should have been. But, you know, finding a geyser, using that for a generator, that was a good idea. That worked. We possibly should have had more coal generators, but we started running out of coal. It took a little bit of time, but we did start running out. And I don't know that there's much coal outside of your starting zone. I certainly don't see it like around here. There's phosphorite, there's igneous abyssalite, huge string of algae right here. But I'm not really seeing more coal. So that might have only been like a temporary solution, but it might have been a solution. Who knows? Once this started really dwindling, I think that's when we were kind of on the death spiral, which has now unfortunately become literal. So, fare thee well, Hazel. And I'm afraid that will do it for this episode and for this colony. I have seen that there are updates coming relatively soon. There's one centered around contagion, which, lovely, more disease. But it also has more tricks around water management that I've seen, which may be more beneficial for a new colony. So we might do another series on this in the future, another season. Although that might hold until the game reaches full release, when it's out of early access. Because again, this game is technically still early access. This is technically still a beta. You can see development build. It's relatively well fleshed out. Maybe there are some balance issues. Maybe it's entirely possible we shouldn't have lasted this long anyway. Who knows? We will examine that at some point in the future, possibly, but for now, I'm afraid it's over. So, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the series. Hope you enjoyed this episode, even with multiple duplicant deaths. If you did, a like would be appreciated. Subscribe doubly so. But either way, we will be on with a new series, taking up the oxygen not included time slot. I hope you enjoy that. Ta-ta for now.